still
Did you
works.
not like his trauma?
Oh man, listen, man, his trauma was something else. Hello, everyone. Welcome to No Drama, Just Movies, and we are back this week with another TV review. This time, we are reviewing none other than episode 3 of HBO's The Penguin. They call it Bliss, apparently. My name is Cameron Cigarette Kelly Smith because between Folie Deux and Sofia, I can feel all that nicotine filling up in my lungs, and I am joined by my lovely Gothamite here.
Phil, call me Bliss, Corwin.
Ooh, yeah, it's going to be a blissful review, hopefully, because we are here to review none other than episode 3 of HBO's The Penguins. Let's just delve right into it. What did you think of this episode?
So, I've been saying for 2 episodes, this show needs to convince me. I think it's finally convinced me. Like, I
Ooh!
bloody love this episode. It's really it's really good. Like, just the writing is so much tighter, I think. And yeah, I was absolutely on board. Like, we can go into like specific stuff, but I'm in. I'm hooked. What about you?
As am I. As am I. I was already hooked from the last two
Yeah.
episodes. This episode, similar to you, it locked me in. It has locked me in. I think that we got a much needed expansion, should we say, in terms of looking at the world of Gotham through a lens that maybe we didn't get to
Mhm.
see previously, especially from not just the last two episodes, but obviously from the movie as well, the Batman. So I'm gonna ask the question that I think that we posed last week. Will Oz have to kill Sophia? Is that where we're going here? Is he gonna have to?
First of all, major spoilers, I think, in that one. Or big spoilers. Because like how it ends, I think like it ends with him and Vic driving away and leaving Sophia behind with the Maronis, right?
Yeah.
Um, so Sophia's not going to be entirely happy about that. So I think there's definitely going to be some blowback and some repercussions. Um, it looks definitely looks like it's moving towards that head-to-head thing. Um, yeah, if it comes to it, I think Oz needs to kill Sophia just to like get rid of the Falcones, like become the new kingpin of Gotham.
Yeah, because this is a limited series, isn't it?
Yeah,
They did, yeah, and so at least that's the good thing about it is that we know that once it ends, it will probably end definitively. Not to say
yeah,
that I mean, with all the success that obviously Warner Brothers has been seeing with the Penguin, I wouldn't be surprised if a limited series then got turned into a season 2. I think that that announcement probably is imminent. If I had to guess, I could be wrong. But going back to what you're saying in terms of Sophia, I think that's the interesting thing to see how we then move on to next week's episode because is this a thing where this is going to once again turn into a master plan where, you know, Sophia is pissed off at Oz for the fact that this has happened, or is Oz going to be able to spin it somehow into, you know, I was working with the Maronis as a way to help you, and,
yeah.
you know, I had to leave you there as a part of the plan, you know, the blah, blah, blah.
He's good
And
at
it's really going to
that.
depend, I think, on how that materializes, or if it literally is a thing where Sophia is like, no, I found you out. You've been working with the Maronis. You've been trying to do this behind my back. But the thing about that is that we're only in episode 3. Don't get me wrong. Next week is the halfway point of the season,
Yeah,
but it kind of does mean that okay, certain points that we might didn't think maybe we was gonna reach just yet. It feels like we are actually maybe going full throttle into immediately. Especially where they only just set up the deal, you know, with the triads, and so it was very much so a cliffhanger episode this week, but in a great way. It was very exciting. I really enjoyed that. To now see, okay, what does happen next week? You know, is what is going to happen. I think that's the best thing you can have with episodic TV, not knowing what's going to happen next, but wanting to know what's going to happen next. Obviously, you mentioned that this episode for you was the episode where you really got locked in. Is a big part of that because we got the backstory to Vic, or
it's all like I loved. seeing that beginning, like Vic, because I think I get what they're doing now. We had 3 episodes. In the first one, we looked at like Penguin Oz. We explored like who he is, what he wants, and like his like backstory and everything. In the second one, we got Sofia and we found out who she is and blah and her deal. And now we've got Vic, and we know like the I guess 3 main characters. And I loved just seeing his, say it with me, trauma. Um,
Oh yeah.
and just what he's dealing with. And he's got serious like PTSD from the flood that we remember from the Batman. So it was great to see like what his story is and what he has to deal with on a daily basis, basically, and just like yeah, it was great. Like and Rhenzy Feliz, I think is how you pronounce it. But the actor who plays Vic he did an amazing job in this one.
Yeah.
Might be my MVP for this one. Um, and yeah, I loved it for that.
Yeah, and I think that's just the thing. This is a show where the performances stand out so much. You have Vic, you have Sophia, you have Oz, and the performances is just so beautiful. And I do echo your opinion in terms of this episode. The writing was so on point, especially with, you have that scene between Oz. You have a couple scenes actually between Oz and Vic where they're kind of discussing. This is during the process where Vic is deciding whether he's gonna go off with his lovely missus or
Mm.
not. And I just love the interaction between those two because it echoes a similar story. Two guys who was not living the life that they wanted to live, was potentially underestimated and overlooked in many ways, and seeing their come up and seeing them turn into the people that they want to be. And the same thing with Sophia. Even for example, her saying, this idea of, them saying she was the hangman, but that's not really her. I'm interested to see
Yeah.
where they go with that. Like, as in, did she actually murder people, or was that something that the Falcones just put on there? And maybe she actually wasn't a serial killer. They used that as a way to kind of just pin her down. I'm very intrigued to see where they go with that. And of course, whether Sophia does end up staying alive by the end of this, because she does, or if her place is going to be in eventually using her as a catalyst to finally let Oz rise up. But I thought that was really exciting. I'm really intrigued to see where it goes.
I did want to mention the writing again, the specific points. Like I loved there was some wonderful like subtext lines when Vic gets stopped by the police. And the police man finds the money and says like, "Oh, that's a lot of money for you." And Vic says, "I don't know what you mean. I don't have any money." It
Good
would have
line,
been
yeah.
easy, so easy to like say to use the line like you can keep it or something, or if you let me go or whatever, something like that.
Mm.
But just that choice of line is beautiful, but like just the subtext of it. There was this moment like you mentioned just Vixen's the Penguins relationship, and I loved both pairings with Penguin. Like I loved his pairing with Vic, especially at the beginning, when they're like discussing his $1,000 and you need to ask for it, otherwise nobody knows what your worth is or something.
Mm.
Just like how they are interacting, because I feel like I see like a mutual respect between the two.
Yeah, I agree.
But then also like when Sophia and the Penguin are talking to the triad, and just how that goes, and how like Penguin just lies about that they have VT's backing, and Sophia
Yeah.
goes with it, and they're like suddenly when they're on the same like suddenly it clicks between them, and the way they play off of each other, it's just beautiful. It's amazing to watch, like from the writing and from the acting as well.
I think what helps with these kind of spin-off shows when you're opening up the world is that we have to see, you're doing a spin-off show that is spinning off Batman.
Hmm.
Like, what other, like, Batman is so interesting. That character takes the whole spotlight that sometimes it takes a lot to make intrigue and interest in other characters. But I think they've done such a good job with that in this show thus far. And even a little thing like seeing the effects from the other person's point of view, that being Vic, of
Hmm.
seeing the events of the Batman and the flooding and how you felt for him seeing his family perish and so many others in Gotham. It's little stuff like that that really hit you, and it really does add to the world of the Batman and to even the movie itself. now that we see it from the other lens. And I'm really enjoying this, man. I'm really
Yeah,
enjoying this. So just like the Penguin and Vic, they haven't had a good old slushy since episode 1, but I'm sure one will be
almost
coming
slushy.
soon. But until then, we are going to fill that void because we are going to give our review score for this episode. We give our review scores in terms of ICs. So we'll give it either a 1 to 10 ICs out of 10, if that makes sense. So, well, episode 3, how many ICs are you giving it out of 10?
I was when I watched it, I thought eight, that's an eight. But I think for what it did and that bloody ending, man, to end on those words, like we're in it now, makes me so bloody excited for just what's to come, as well. And those are just amazing lines. Uh, so I'll go nine. 9 out of 10 for this
Woo-wee.
one. It was just, yeah, definitely a
Oh, yeah.
really good episode.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm gonna go at 8.5 ICs out of 10. Listen,
Oh,
I
am I
did really
higher?
enjoy it. I really, really did enjoy it. I'm ready. I'm intrigued. Some of the stuff with Vic up first, some of those little flashback moments. I think especially in the club, I did start to feel like it was a tiny bit cheesy, but it
Did
still
you
worked.
not like his trauma?
Oh man, listen, man, his trauma was something else. I mean, but I still do love this show. I did really enjoy this episode. I'm gonna go at 8.5 right now. I see 8.5 ICs out of 10. You're going 9 ICs out of 10. So that will do it for our review of episode 3 of the HBO originals, The Penguin. My name is Cameron Cigarette Kelly Smith, and I'm joined by my fellow Gotham citizen here.
Bill, call me Bliss Cohen.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Well, we are a very blissful channel. If you haven't noticed already, we are No Drama, Just Movies. We do weekly reviews in the world of movies and, of course, now TV. If you do like our content here, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please like, comment, share. We're just two movie and TV loving friends. So I'd love to have a good chat with a good slush in the world of Gotham. And I know that many of you do love to do the same. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are No Drama, Just Movies, and we will see you very, very soon. Take care, guys.
Bye.